Hello, my spooky scaries, and welcome back to the Final Pod, where I talk all things spooky all the time. I'm your host, Ezra Rivers, and today's episode is going to be a bite sized treat of all things eerie. We'll get into the new horror movies I've seen, peek into the shadows of upcoming horror movies, and predict where the twisted path of modern horror might lead us. So grab your flashlight and join me as we explore the spine chilling abyss together. So, as I said, this episode's going to be a bit of a smaller one. I am gearing up to end season one, which is really exciting. I decided to just kind of do a little 10 episode season one, quick, easy, had a few guests, had a lot of fun actually with this. This is the first podcast I've ever done, and yeah, it's been really fun. It's been exciting. It's been challenging at times. I won't lie, but creating content is really something that I love exploring. I love playing around with the logo. Shout out to my new logo. I love really creating this space where we can just, chit chat about horror movies and get to know each other and get to know what horror we like, what we don't like. And I love having fun with the guests that I have on here because I get to banter with people, and I especially love when people kind of don't share the same opinions as I do because it generally creates a great conversation. So those have definitely been my favorite ones. But yeah, I'm excited for season two. I have some guests lined up already that I look forward to collaborating with and really picking their brains on what they think horror is to them, how they see horror, and really just exploring this realm of horror movies, content. I'm thinking for... Anyway, I'm going to save what I'm thinking for the little bonus episode that I have after these last two episodes. But yeah, so I just decided to take a second. I'm going on vacation soon, so I didn't really want to leave you guys hanging with nothing, and just thought that I would kind of chit chat about the horror movies I've seen, what I'm excited to see, what's coming up, and just really, just make this a chill episode. It's just going to be me. There's no guests, so sorry to disappoint, even though I know you all love me so much. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The first one that I've seen is, the first one that I want to talk about, because for me, this film was something that I wasn't really expecting. I knew that it was going to be different, and it was going to kind of explore something that I don't want to say I'm not a fan of, but it's just not my go-to. And the movie I'm talking about is Immaculate, with the amazing Sydney Sweeney. I thought that the film was really just a fun time, and I know that sounds crazy because if you've seen the movie, just a heads up, I'm going to say this now, I will be talking about these movies with hopes that you have seen them. So if you haven't, there will be spoilers in this episode, so I would avoid it until you've seen the films. And I'll say it early on, since we're still in the beginning of this whole shebang. I'm going to be talking about Immaculate, Late Night with the Devil, and some others that I actually haven't seen yet but want to see. And yeah, so definitely there will be spoilers about Immaculate and Late Night with the Devil in this episode. For warning, stop the episode now, go see the movies, come back, and you can continue on. But anyway, so with Immaculate, it was, first of all, the ending scene of that movie was beyond me. The screams coming from Sydney Sweeney, kind of her finally getting out, and first of all, the whole final act. Let's go back. For me, the entire final act was really what made this movie so great in my eyes. I will admit that throughout the film, for me personally, it was a little slow. You kind of knew that there was something going on that you're not seeing. It's very obvious in the opening scene, but for me, it just I felt myself getting a little. I don't want to say bored, but just kind of losing interest here and there throughout the beginning of the film. But when I tell you the final act really pulled everything all together for me and made me like I want this on digital, I want it on Blu-ray, I want it like now. Um it really went to a place that I wasn't expecting. I thought we were just going to get kind of the traditional like haunted church, everything is like demonic and it's a possession movie in a sense, but that's not what you get, and I loved that about the movie. You get the aspects of the whole like religious horror, if that's what you're into. You get all that in the movie, but the final act where it's revealed what's going on and how it's being done, and really just she's sees everything, and it's just an amazing final act. I think she did phenomenal in it. She's definitely up there for Scream Queen for me. Um, there's a lot of blood, which is always fun, but it's not done, cheesy or overdone. And yeah, I just think there's that final scene where she's, covered in blood, and she gives birth to whatever it is. We actually don't see it, so we don't know what was created, but it's you can tell within the background noises that you hear, like the breathing and the crying. It's not human. I'll just say that. And if it is human, it's really messed up. And so she ends up off camera. Obviously, they didn't want to push the envelope too far, even though I think they did push it pretty far with this one. She ends up killing the baby, and there's just this scream that she lets out, and it goes on, and even when you think it's done, it's not. And it was really great. I loved it. I thought it was fun when everything kind of picked up and everything starts getting revealed, and you really see what's going on within this church. And yeah, I don't know, it's definitely up there on my list of like favorite horror movies of like all time, but definitely of the past like 5 years at least, maybe longer. But it's one for the books. It's talking and addressing a lot of things that women in society face, especially when it comes to autonomy over their body, and really the control that they have over it versus what men feel women are on this earth for, if you catch my drift. And yeah, it really it taps into everything that people don't want to talk about, and it makes it into this horror film that's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. I loved it. I can't wait to see it again. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I went by myself. I just got some popcorn, a soda, and watched the film. And I thought it was great. I recommended it to all my friends, told everyone to go see it, and everyone loved it as well. So Immaculate was a 10 out of 10 for me. And I want to see more horror from Sydney Sweeney for sure. I think that's something that she excels in. She's a very beautiful woman. She has a scream for days, and I really want to see if she's going to hone in on that and really bring it to her career. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of Sydney Sweeney in some horror movies. And that's kind of what I'm going to say about that one. I tried to keep it as spoiler free as possible. I know I said that there were going to be spoilers, and there are, but I don't want to give too much away at the same time. So that's my review on Immaculate. Thought it was perfect. Thought it was great. A lot of fun. Definitely see it if you haven't. Pick it up on Blu-ray when it comes out. Buy it on digital. Whatever you got to do. But see this film. It's going to be one of your favorites for 2024 horror. Maybe all horror you've ever seen. moving right along, Late Night with the Devil. And I just have to say this before I get into that movie. I was really let down with this one, and I think it's just because I was so hyped up for it. I'm a big 70s, 80s horror kind of, you know, enthusiast, even though I grew up in the 90s. I love the aesthetic that it brings on film. If you've seen any of the classics like Black Christmas, and you have these eerie atmospheres that I don't think modern horror can really capture, and I think it's simply just because of the time. And I mean, unless obviously the movie takes place in that time period and is done well. And for me, like I said, it's more of an aesthetic thing. It's a feel to the film when you watch it, like when you watch the original Black Christmas versus either of the remakes. There's just a feel to the classic films that really, as I said, is of its time, so it can't really be replicated. That goes to say, I was really excited for Late Night with the Devil. Excuse me. I was really excited for Late Night with the Devil. I went into it thinking that it was going to be something that it really wasn't. At least for me, it wasn't. And I don't know if that's due to lack of research or kind of staying away from the buzz around the film and just creating my own buzz. I think it fell a little short. I think there's parts of the film that stand out for sure. There was obviously the whole AI generated images scandal that went around before the movie came out, which kind of hindered its performance, I think, or hindered people from seeing it. It didn't hinder me personally, and so I still saw it in theaters. But for me, it didn't give me what I thought it was going to give me, and I guess that goes to say I should say what I thought it was going to give. So for me, first of all, I thought the entire film was going to be based around the interaction with this young girl who is supposedly possessed by the devil or a demonic entity. And while it also wasn't. There's an underlying storyline within the movie that for me overshadowed what I thought the movie was going to be. Which, listen, it's in no way a terrible film. I didn't hate it, but I don't think I'll probably watch it one more time to see if I feel different about it, but I don't think it's something that will make any of my list for 2024 horror. And I know I've seen the Twitter comments, I've seen everyone telling me that I'm crazy and that because I didn't like the film, and I'm sorry, it wasn't. I would have liked it more if maybe throughout the movie you realize that the young girl is causing a lot of the chaos or the mayhem that's going around, kind of hinting at giving her more of a prominent space in the storyline. She feels the whole storyline with her and the therapist and the on-air exorcism, live TV exorcism, whatever they called it, very much it's just the last minutes of the film. And for me, I thought that's what the whole movie was about. It's very minor of an inconvenience for me, but it just made me feel, I don't want to say lied to or like whatever the case may be, but it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And for me, that took me out of the movie, and it really took me out of, I think I even started falling asleep at one point. I'm not going to lie. As I said, see it. Let me know what you think about it. I know I'm going to get shit for having this opinion. It's fine. Take it. But I did not love it. I will definitely see it again, and maybe I'll make another little episode talking about it later. But for me, didn't do it. Didn't love it. I gave it like a 5 out of 10. 6 out of 10 at max. Yeah, I was really let down with that one. And it made me sad because I love the aesthetic of the movie. I thought the setting was cool, the idea is different, but I just wanted more. Maybe having us see at the end of the movie someone watching the live television show in their living room and the demon transferring to them, showing that like this is going to go on forever, there's no real way to stop it, kind of thing, would have been fun. But I think, as I said, there is an underlying storyline that I don't know why I can't talk today. That really is the main storyline. I'll say that. The storyline that you find out about is the main storyline, and the whole exorcism thing is the secondary storyline, just to kind of give the movie a little oomph. So yeah, thought it was cool, didn't love it in any way, shape, or form. We'll watch it again, we'll update you guys. Let's move on. So I talked about the movies that I've seen. I've been slacking in horror, please don't come for me, I've been a little busy, but I'm just going to get a little into the movies that are coming, and yeah, just what I want to see coming up. So first we have Abigail. Super excited to see that. I know it's out already. Haven't been able to make it to the theater. I'm hoping that I can go when I get back from vacation. That's the first thing I want to do, honestly. Definitely want to check out Abigail. We have the Alien movie. I think it's Alien Romulus. Please don't sue me. Don't attack me. Not sure if that's how you say it. But it's the new Alien movie. I'm kind of mixed about that one. I love Fede Alvarez. So I think I'm going to be seated regardless. But I think Alien was never really a staple for me. I love it. I think it's a great movie. I've seen it a million times. But it's not... I'm more of a slasher psychological versus like big old creatures. But anyway, I'm excited for that one nonetheless. I'm wondering if they're going to bring back any legacy characters in any way, shape, or form, because we love Miss Sigourney Weaver, and I think that would be really cool. So I'm excited for that one. As we all know, I did an episode on it already, but I'm excited for The Strangers Chapter 1. I can't wait for that one. I'm definitely going to be opening weekend kind of girl with that. I will be seated. We have Cuckoo, which I just saw the trailer for, I want to say 2 weeks ago or something, when I saw Immaculate, and I'm very excited for that one. That one looks super interesting. I want to get into the story about it. I'm excited to see kind of what's going on, why it's going on, what's really happening. And yeah, I think that one's going to be a twisted little mind bend, a little mind fuck, and we love a good mind fuck. We have The Watchers, which is, if I'm correct, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. Please don't come for me if I got that wrong, but I know she's a Shyamalan, and that one actually looks really good as well. It's starring Dakota Fanning. Love her. I think she's a great actress. I would really love to get into what the hell is going on with that one. There will definitely be a full episode about that. Hopefully I can talk to someone who's seen it or is excited to see it, but that one looks really interesting, as well as Longlegs, which, if I'm correct, is starring Nick Cage. Admittedly, I'm not like a huge Nick Cage fan. It's not necessarily anything against him. I just don't search out his movies or really. Yeah, so, but. I've seen the teasers, I've seen the little trailers that are coming out. I'm circulating in the buzz of it all with the whole Reddit boards and the Twitter comments, and I know it's called X, but I'm always going to call it Twitter. And I think because of the hype that's going around within the horror community, it's making me more excited for this, but it just looks like a mind fuck. And I'm so stoked for that. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to coming up. I feel like I may have missed one or two, and if I did, I'll mention it in another episode. But yeah, as I said, this was going to be a kind of short episode. Please be sure to follow, Subscribe, leave a review, rate it, whatever you do. I'm very appreciative of the love that I've gotten and the support that I've gotten from this show so far. I'm super looking forward to creating more content and engaging with you all more into season 2. The finale will be on Tuesday. It will post on Tuesday. It's starring my friend Matt again, who was from a previous episode, worked on My Bloody Valentine 3D and Sorority Row. He's coming back for the finale. We're just going to have a fun old time as we did last time. I love talking to Matt. And yeah, we're gearing up for the end of season 1. I'm excited. I look forward to it. Please be sure to follow the show at The Final Pod on Instagram. I know I've been mentioning merch. That should be dropping summer. I'm hoping, really hoping to get it out by June for my birthday. And check out thefinalbrand.net. It's the official website. That's kind of where the store is going to go, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. I thank you again for joining me for today's episode on The Final Pod. And yeah, remember to stay spooky.